Welcome back, punters, to another edition of the Rapid Fire Show. Of course, John Walter and Jason as the party joins us as per normal. Got plenty to cover today, boys, and I suppose we'll just get straight into it and try and keep it a bit shorter. Apologies for last week. My performance was piss poor. I don't think we tipped a winner, did we?
Oh, I think we did.
I don't think we did that bad.
It felt like we did that bad. A lot of seconds, a lot of placings, but yeah, no real result. I think I only put my hand
wish
out
I would
once.
have been nice here.
I thought we did okay, but I can't remember what races we're on.
No, me neither.
Anyway, I found it disappointing, but anyway, we'll move on straight into Randwick.
We'll keep carrying on our shoulders, Skipper. Don't worry about that.
Oh, that's right, mate. I need help. Okay, Group 2 Skyline Stakes in Sydney, race 3, John, the market, just on the
So what are you thinking, like a 5 is what we're hoping for, I guess?
Oh, look, they're saying it might get to a 4, but yeah, 4 or 5, probably in that range.
That little bit of rain in the last 24 hours hopefully doesn't hold the track up, but I'll definitely stop putting water on it, so hopefully it gets back to a 4. All right, what are we saying? Race 3?
Do you want to talk about expectation in terms of how you think the track will play, John?
Yeah, to me, it's all about how much it dries out, isn't it? The 3 metre, the fence could be all right, but it might be a bit smelly if it doesn't quite get back to that good range. Yeah,
I'm sort of going to go with the view that the inside might be okay, and it might play a little bit better than what it can. But I suppose just keep an eye on it in the first couple of races, and obviously weather dependent. They could change things around a bit, but still, always probably 2 to 3 off is probably preferable.
Definitely in the straight.
Yeah, in the straight we're talking about.
The Mighty Skyline Stakes. Shinzo, $3 favourite. Won't go through the whole market, getting abused for that. Bases loaded, $7. Corniche, $8. $9 Gambari. And Rush Hour Disney are the other main chances with Sideshow all around the $10, $11 mark. Why
don't you kick us off, John? You're the resident expert on Sydney.
Am I? Jesus Christ. I guess not the round bit. I didn't particularly love the race. Thought that the better the fence is, the better I thought bases loaded will go. It should be the first horse to the fence, whether they want to come across and test it from wider. And Shinzo, I don't think it'll be far away back there on the inside as well. So I thought they were definitely the main 2 chances if it got back to the 4 range. Gambari, its run last start was really, I'm not really sure what it was. I thought it was only fair at Canberra and sort of battled on, but ridden back, it certainly hit the line nicely. Don't know what it is, but it should still be up against it on Saturday. I think I definitely don't really want to find it. And the absolute wild card's a horse called Tavs that was destroyed its first start at Canberra. It sort of jumped up there with them and he dragged it out and sort of got lost halfway up the straight, and it still hit the line and won easily. Has a bit of, it's not Castelvecchio, but smells a bit the same. Little done deal horse that could easily jump from 1,000 to 1,200 and run really well. So Tavs was the knockout for me. But Tavs and bases loaded, the 2 value, and Shinzo obviously hard to beat, but priced accordingly.
I'm sort of away from all of those, but Jason, what do you say?
I haven't done the race because I'm on Shinzo at $101 in the slipper, so I hope it wins by 6. So that's my interest in the race.
Okay, for me, it's I'm with Kamichi, Rush Hour, and Disney as all sort of chances in the race that could win this. Not a lot of confidence, but I do think that around about the double figures, all of them, I think bar one, might be worth something if you're really interested in playing this race. Look, I probably won't bet in the race, but that's probably where I'd be looking if I was looking for the winner outside the favourite, which just looks a bit short for me. Okay, let's get into the Guy Walter, race 5, 1,400 metres. John, what have we got the main chances?
Pretty average race. This $3.50 roughly Hope in Your Heart, which is a bit shorter than last time I looked. $4 Mirror Vision, $6 Norwegian Bliss, $9, $10 range is Yearning, Mustang Valley, More Profits, and Dynasties.
What do you say, John?
I just kept coming back to Hope in Your Heart here just because there's nothing going to be fit and ready apart from Norwegian Bliss. It's had a run, and I thought it went terrible the other day. So either it improves and definitely can, like as in it's set up well too. I was on Larkspur Run last start, even though it was a really bad ride. Thought it was pretty poor and jumping to 1,400 quickly for it didn't look ideal, but I just thought Hope in Your Heart with the 2 trials just wins by default nearly. I didn't think Mirror Vision off 1 trial was set up to do its best. Snowden's horses of late have been a bit soft early and sort of worked into their prep. So Hope in Your Heart can lob within striking distance. I think it'll be very hard to hold out. It's not really a $3.60 first up horse, but I just think by default it's going to go very close.
Jason?
Yeah, I love Hope in Your Heart as a horse. That first up run last prep, that 8th was still a good run, and she was just outstanding. But the horse, so I was down to 2 and Yearning's a terrific first up horse. She goes fresh is best for her. I was quite happy with the trial. That 3rd in the Let's Late last prep gave weight to everything. It was absolutely huge. I think before that, in the lead up to the 1,000 Guineas, it wasn't that prep. There was a 4th there. Oh, and the Angus Armanasco, that 3rd at Caulfield that day was another huge run. She keeps getting weight penalties, giving weight here, but I just thought each way she'd be a good bet, and I thought Hope in Your Heart was the other winning chance. The only 2 I could possibly back.
Yeah, look, I'm probably leaning to the Yearning camp myself. I just thought it a bit of value outside the market chances. They all look a bit obvious, and I don't see much of an edge in any of them. Probably a bit against more profits at the price currently. But Yearning, I think, is entitled to be short. If it runs up to that run first up last prep, it could be winning this, I'd say. But yeah, look, it's just a matter of where it is on the day. First up, you've always got to be a little bit careful. But I suppose any sort of decent mounting yard push or whatnot from some of the better judges out there, could be the deciding factor. And also the betting market, that'll tell you too late where it's at. So for me at this stage, Yearning looks the interesting runner.
It's a stepping stone race for basically the whole field, isn't it? So it's never fun trying to sort those out, but it is what it is.
Let's get on to the Sweet Embrace.
Well backed already. Skirt the Law around the $2.60s, best around $3.50 blank to blank, $7 for Facile, $9 for Lazago, $11 Summer Loving, and that is it for the main chances.
Well, I'm going to start here because it's pretty easy for me. Skirt the Law just wins.
Okay, well, in my punting career, which is long, I find a lot of Blue Diamond winners and Magic Million winners aren't really ones to follow in the autumn once they're prepped up. Admittedly, she was she was impressive, but I just couldn't take 6-4 from there. And I know the Platinum Jubilee form someone up, etc. So I just sort of went looking for something else. Blank to Blank was extraordinary run last start. And I think Lazago, I think it goes from J4 to Bowman. I thought
Willie
he wasn't bad. Sorry?
Willie Pike, not much difference.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, even worse. Even a better jockey chain, sorry. So Willie Pike to Bowman. And sort of was like, had momentum and got held up and could have been a bit stronger to the line, but I just thought here could be the improver. So blank to blank on the Lazago were the 2 I went looking for and was going to take on the Magic Millions form. But so there we go. Tough race.
Yeah, it trialled really well since in a big, strong thing. I'm normally in your sort of camp. I think Platinum Jubilee probably lightened off and struggling to continue its form, and it still form's holding up. So I sort of go looking away for it, same as you, but this horse does look the real deal, Skirt the Law. So just not really a horse I'd want to take on. Blank to Blank went psycho before the last start. They put ear plugs on it, which you don't see a lot. You see ear muffs, but pre-race ear plug. So another one, like Paul alluded to the last race, if it parades better, it certainly went really well, all things considered last start, and can improve. And I'm a big Lazago fan as well, and even Facile's a dangerous horse that was in the wrong spot there last start. So it's a no-bet race for me. I think all four of them are quality horses. The top 2 are a little bit short, and the other 2 need to come up to their level, so their price is probably about right too.
I think earplugs, John, is a gear change that sometimes gets forgotten.
Do they forget to announce it?
They forget to announce it. Yeah.
So that even if because a lot of them use earplugs with the muffs. You know, so they put the plugs in and then the muffs on top. So that's quite interesting. Maybe a lot of the ear muffs both have plugs as well. It'd be interesting.
Do they take the ear plugs out before the race, or they leave them in?
They take them out here. This is pre-race only.
What price have you got the favourite marks, Paul?
Well, it's already firmed, hasn't it?
Oh, I didn't ask you what the fluctuation
is he saying he firmed it?
What price have you marked it?
I think he's saying he firmed it.
It's already firmed. And
I'm looking at the reflection on your glasses. What's that say? $1.33. On? Fuck. Jesus.
You can't see a reflection. Why would you mark the horse through?
You'll have contacts next week. You won't be that worried about giving anything away.
He's penalised it to get it to 3.
I'll look like Stevie Wonder. It's a good race and looks an outstanding chance to me.
What's this race? Sweet Embrace, next race?
I think it's
Surround Stakes.
We just did it. Yeah, we did the
Surround Stakes.
Race
7, the Surround Stakes. Here we go. I thought this horse would be tomato sauce, to be fair, but $2.20 in secret, $5 Zoo Gotcha off the little setback or whatever it had there, $11 Sunshine in Paris. I guess the only other horse that's sort of notable, Madame Pomeroy, was $18 best around, same for She's a Belter. $14 Ruthless Dame coming up from Mexico. They look the main in the betting here. What
do they do with North Star Lassie, John?
It'll go forward. It's I think there's only 2 go forward horses in their Cinderella Days, and it'll just probably sit outside it. It's definitely not fast enough to get across Cinderella Days.
Mm. Well, it ran well, didn't it? I mean, I think I tipped it, and one of you two mentioned it as well.
I think we all had it as our value
as the bolter. Yeah, and to me, it could be a little bit of value again. I think the favourite's obvious. I think a fair price is a bit longer. What's happening here?
Just that horse in particular, Cinderella Day. So I think I did a review, and I didn't pot the horse, but thought that was. I said that was probably its chance in life to measure up to a race like this, and the others that improved more. And Joe Pride launched into me saying, "Well, you obviously didn't see Mine Parade, and don't worry about it. Mine's got plenty up its sleeve." So interesting that he does like having a crack, but interesting that he'd say that. So he obviously thinks that he's got more to give as well.
What happened in Pride? Have a crack at you?
Well, he just said, I didn't pot the horse, but said, the others will probably improve more than it. So next time out, it'll struggle to stay at that level. And he said, he obviously didn't see Mine Parade or whatever. He kicked back a bit. So he thinks Cinderella Days won't be found out by the 1400 by the sound of it.
Well, what I'm saying is that the 2 favourites look a bit obvious, and I suppose that's the case, given that they are so high on the OHR and the set weights and so forth, or set weights and penalties, but is it set weight? No, sorry, set weights. So I just think Cinderella Days is the only thing I could go to in this race, unless the favourite got out to a silly price, but I don't think that'll be happening.
I'm telling you, it's not tomorrow. But watch this horse a lot more love. It's got a big race in it.
They put up 40s. I see it's trimmed up a bit, but 40s was crazy. The place was. It's not the place price was silly.
Don't like the gate. I don't like that. She's got something. This horse. She's got. Something.
I like the gate for this horse because he probably has to pinch runs to
yeah, true. Yeah, to win that. I'm not sure she can match these on ability, but it's her time is coming in her career. I love her.
Yeah, I thought the favourite's pretty obvious, but if it jumps into the spot, it's there again for In Secret to settle sort of 4th, 5th. If it jumps well, found it very difficult to think that anything would improve more than it. He sort of kidded to it last start and strong through the line. 1400 won't stop this horse at this level. So Gotcha's got to give it fitness and, draws okay to slot in, but he's probably still going to have to work forward and do a little bit of work early, which is not ideal. I thought Madame Pomeroy went really well first up, but it will improve, but probably again next time. Is it Sunshine in Paris is definitely up against it. If it was ever going to beat them, it was probably last start. So kept coming back to the favourite. Obviously, Ruthless Dame's an interesting horse that to add into to the race. Ran really well down there last start. Really, really strong creature that's been strong every start. So you should see how it measures up. But take it or leave it. I thought 220 was fair, but about its right price, the favourite, just because it seems to get all favours again. I agree with Az that the horse that's interesting and goes in all exotics is a lot more love.
So, Jason, you've had your say on this race, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, nothing else to add.
Nothing else to add. Okay, Chipping Norton time, race 8 there. John, the market.
Let me find the market.
We're
up to race 8. Here we go. Oh, this is a much more exciting race. $1.70 Animo, $10 Mo'unga, $8 Fangirl, and $12 Hinged, and nothing else under 20. So we've got El Bodegon and Montefilia around the 20 to 1 mark.
John, what do you say?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Animo again draws to just sit right behind the leaders, and unfortunately Fangirl draws to need luck up the inside again. If she gets it, if they throw the dice and try and maybe hold a position, somehow get onto his back or something like that, she can be dangerous. Other than that, I couldn't find. I don't think Hinge can possibly hold Animo off unless he has a bad day or something weird happens and Mo'unga draws really awkwardly again to either have to press forward or stuck in the wilderness. So, yeah, it looks very similar to first up. Animo just finds perfect spot, sprints to the front, and if Fangirl has luck and a perfect trip somehow, she's the only horse that I think that's capable of out sprinting in.
Yeah, look, I've got the favourite pretty much market, so don't see any real advantage there. Interesting to see what Knight's Order does first up this time. Off that bog track win last time, and it was pretty much advantaged. I don't think there's much to say. Not for me anyway. Favourite.
I thought Knight's Order was interesting in this race, but because it's 25 to 1 in the Sydney Cup, and I think that's a silly price, and if it runs very well here, I don't think that price will be anywhere to be found come Sunday morning.
What's happened? Is Pike back in Sydney, or are they just flying him in for Group 1 races? What's happening?
I think she's a belter.
Right, okay.
I don't know if he's got any commitment to others, but She's a Belter's the one that he seems to be teamed up with, that he's had the affiliation with for a little while.
Okay, right. He's on Wethor. But,
yeah,
I thought Hinge wasn't a bad bet to place in this. I think you'll get about $3 on the fair. I'd be happy to take that.
Fair enough.
Very exciting race, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to find something, but anyways.
That's all right.
Let's go to Melbourne.
So far as that pink flamingo shirt, but we'll keep cracking.
I'm hoping you get fired up here, mate. You've been very subdued here now that we're heading to the hillside.
Get into God's country in Melbourne, and I'll start talking.
Well,
here we go. We're in.
You got to work out. You got to remember which track you could be on. You're on 2 tomorrow. But anyway, race 2, the Angus Emanasco.
I missed this. Hang on. Jeez, I've got to change the button. I've got to press the button. Here we go. I forgot this was there's 6 races in Melbourne. I don't know the market. Here we go. $3.60 Shuffle Dancer, $5.50 Call Die, $6 for Laced Up Heels, $6.50 for She's Lickety Split, $9 even for Royal Merchant, $10 or $11 around for Eternal Flame, and that's about it for the chances.
Do you want to play here, Jason?
I found it a pretty hard race. She's Lickety Split is clearly the best horse, but has to give weight to some really smart fillies, and I'm just not sure what the target is for her. Love the first up run. I think she's come back well. Love to get
bar plates come off too for this run.
Yeah, okay. I didn't see that. Thank you. I'd love to get, when he has his turn, John's. I think I've got my top pick as Call Die. I think this Sydney form has come up really well so far in Melbourne in the autumn, with Wallenby coming out of midweeks and winning a Group 2 at Flemington, and it wasn't a weak race. The market didn't really find her, and I was, although she's a trier, I didn't see Wallenby winning that race. I spoke about a lot more love in the surround earlier. Call Die was, go back and look at that Reginald Allen run in the spring. It was fantastic. Came back. Look, it beat a pretty shit field, and it wasn't overly convincing, but Nash just put it OSL because he just knew he was on the best horse. And it had a bit of pushback on the fair just before the race. I was a bit nervous because I was on, but she won well. I watched that race. Nice Frankel filly out of Samantha Miss. I'm just thinking this is a group horse through and through. So look, I'm going to spec her here. I don't love $6-7, given the quality of the field, but she's my top pick. The horse here, the figures aren't great out of the win, but I've got a huge amount of time for it. 15's Eternal Flame. She's a very, very nice filly, maybe biting off more than she can chew here. And I think Shuffle Dancer, is a really nice horse as well. Could win. Laced Up Heels was good first up. Didn't handle Sandown. I think she improves here. But you can't back them all, so I'm backing Call Die.
Well, look, I found this race really tricky to get a handle on. The only thing I can say is I'm against, at the price, She's Lickety Split and Eternal Flame. I think that they should both be significantly longer than what they are. Other than that, I don't have much to offer. John?
Call Die is the only horse I can back. It's the only horse that's completely untapped. They rode it upside down first up to win. Sat outside the leader there and nearly half-carded the leader. She's definitely not a horse that needs to or wants to be ridden that way, I don't think. Draws ideally to settle, like there's a bit of speed outside her, so she should just sort of get carted across into 5th or 6th here. And, I expect her to run really well. She's the only horse I could see just improving out of sight and being too good for them, whereas the others, I couldn't really get too excited about any of them, to be honest. So I think Call Die is the one with all the upside. And like you say, Wallenby, if that horse measured up and you got Royal Merchant, here's $9. I think it came out of that race. Call Die to me is a lot better horse than Wallenby. So however you line all that up, I'm not sure. But for them to be sort of $6 and $9, I'd much rather be taking $6 Call Die every day of the week.
Fair enough.
So Sterling's called you and declared it. Is that what you just said?
No, swear to God, not. No, they were very keen first up, and she's improved. I know that, but they're not. I haven't spoken to them about this race at all.
Okay, let's get on to the Autumn Classic, race 5.
Here we go. I've actually got this race, which helps. $3.20, the Mighty Pericles. Crikey, it's short. $4.60, Hennessy Lad. $5 Mr. Maestro, $9 Acosta, $8.50 for Osbred Rising Sun, 15-1 Yasuki. I don't think I've missed anything. That's all the top chances.
Jason, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. I absolutely hate the race because your absolute go-tos here, spring Melbourne staying form, which doesn't necessarily hold up into the future traditionally. Mr. Maestro's form when it's got above a mile, sort of 1800 range, has been outstanding. And, you can't ignore what Godolphin think about Pericles. I do think he's very good. Jamie had it 3 wide last start, sort of peaked on its run at the end, so maybe it improves here, but I just couldn't take the prices. If there is bias, this is on the hillside. So wanted to get actually Walt's view on Osbred Rising Sun as a horse, but I found this race very, very difficult, and I'll be watching and learning.
Look, I thought the market pretty much had it right in the top 3 picks. I don't really see much advantage there. An interesting horse for me, this is seemingly up a lot in grade, but the likely leader here, Susie Zero, that won at Moe last start. I'm just interested to see how this horse can progress. Look, it was advantaged. It was very much advantaged by the on-pace bias and sort of a fencing run day, and you've got to discount it for that. But 20-1, I'm just be interested to see if it can run a race. But I certainly won't be backing it to beat the others. But I can't really find an edge in the top 3 favourites at all. I
agree with you, 3-0. If it was Lakeside, I'd be tipping it. But just not sure on Hillside.
Yep, fair call. Okay, let's get on to the Peter Young.
Oh, hang
on. Whoa, John.
What's going on? He's going to declare.
I'll talk about Osbred Rising Sun looks a very talented horse. Whether it's quickly getting to this sort of race is the tough thing, as in sort of travelling to Melbourne, first prep, 4th run, but really well grounded. If not, all its runs have been very good. Turn of 40 in all of them, which is great to see. Blinkers went on last start and it settled closer in the run, which I think's important that it could do that. Same barrier here, so inside draw, so it'll settle sort of midfieldish and very dangerous horse. It was an open Class 1 set weights at Newcastle, so nothing too exciting, but it just definitely was way too good for him off a really slow tempo, which usually bunches the margins, and he busted him up a bit late. So I think it can run well. Acosta, I like. I think Gay's horses are just airborne, and this thing tags across with the horse you mentioned, Cesuro. They went way too quick last start, and Hennessy Lad was only just able to run it down. I know significant rider change there, but I don't know how the heck Acosta's double the price that Hennessy Lad is. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I thought they were the two horses I could back in the race. Acosta and Osbred Rising Sun. Very scared of Pericles, but it's just $3.20. I think that's too short. It was a pretty average ride first up, but it's just too short. Where's he gone?
I'm here.
He's gone.
The score on top.
We've lost the lunatic. We can't lose him. Where's he gone?
We got the white dot. He's back.
He's back. Did you hear me talk about Osbred Rising Sun? I think it could win for sure.
Okay, let's get on to the Peter Young. I think it is the next one. Yep, race 6.
Race 6, Peter Young. So we've got Gold Trip. Wow, I haven't even looked at the betting here. This is crazy. $3.20 Gold Trip, $4.40 Emissary, $6 Surefire, $8 Steinem, $10 or $11 for Keats, $12 for Young Werther, and $10 for Nemirian.
Look, these races can be trap races. Obviously, you got the Melbourne Cup winner resuming, and one of the place getters there, I think, or quite a few runners anyway. Look, I'm going to go with the Mike Moroney Emissary here. I think it's the horse to beat first up. Won a trial in very fast time. Don't think it'll get back as perhaps as far as the map might have it, and hopefully gets the chocolates. I'll definitely be having something on it. Outside that, take your pick. Jason?
There's a distinct lack of speed in this race. I'm assuming that Numerian will go forward, John.
I'm not sure for sure, but I would be expecting the same.
Yeah, on it from his usual pattern. And there's a lot of slow horses here. You'd think Blake Shin will have a Missouri posse pretty close. I've always thought this horse is Fresh's best. He's a sounding horse. The only doubt I have about him is, are they targeting Sydney Cup after that second in the Melbourne Cup? And is it not ready and sort of, they don't want to get weight penalties either, maybe. I don't know. I'm sort of coming up with these conspiracy theories, but I think 1,800 metre weight for age, fresh, is perfect for this horse. Thought Surefire, but it's just a bit of a cat, I reckon, Surefire. I'm just not sure about it. I've been sucked into it too many times. $6.50 I can't take. Steinem's last 3 runs above 1,800 metres have been a second in that Group 2 race at Perth, third in the Northerly behind Amelia's Jewel, and a second behind a Tissue in the Matriarch. So interesting they go first up here, 1,800 metres. I think the two best 1,800 metre horses in the race are Missouri and Steinem, but they're both first up. So that's the only doubt I have.
I think this is his D-Day Surefire. He just gave him a barrier trial first up. They zipped home Animo's race, and he was really strong through the line there with no pressure. I thought they just sort of gave him a dead set barrier trial. I'm assuming, like I said, Iberian, it'll be ridden closer. It's shown that it can from a softer draw, and it could lob sort of in the first 4 and goes very close for mine. And this is his D-Day. If he doesn't at least look the winner for a long way here and take a good horse to beat him, he is a milk drinker. And that trial was incredible of Emissary. I love that Blake Shin went to trial it. I love the intent that he showed in the trial to push it through the line. It doesn't make any sense to me that he wouldn't be trying here. I know what you're saying. It looks like they've got him ready. He won't be wound up, but they don't trial like that unless they want to be competitive fresh, I don't think. It's just got the Shin inside draws. He rides them as well as anyone. He's like Bowman and McDonald and the best of them, that he can get them a pair closer without having to bustle them. He's just very good at getting them out of the gates and into better spots than other jockeys are. So I think they're the two hopes. I couldn't really see anything else winning.
If he's
Race
ready,
7. Sorry, Jason?
if Missouri's ready, it wins.
Yeah, I think one of the two.
Race 7 is the
race
7.
Here we
Blue
go.
Diamond, here we go.
Got to try and find the prices. Here we go. $4.20 for Steel City, $5.50 Barber. Heading to the page, you've got Little Bros, $10. Brave Halo around the $9 mark. Instructor around the $10 mark. Don Corleone around the $10 mark. and I think Party for Two. Oh no, we've got Exploring 14 and Party for Two around 19. They're the only ones under 20 to 1.
Jason, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Bit of a head fuck bang on Lakeside, this, which is a traditional rails hugging leaderish favoured track. I'm a bit biased because I'm on one early at big odds, but I think the Blue Diamond Prelude is the form. Barber was soft in the betting because it didn't look ready. It's drawn perfectly here, I think. Had experience at the track. A lot of horses won't handle the run down the hill and then the long up the rise and along the straight. I think they could get lost down that hill early. I think he's just right stable, right form, hasn't been beaten. I think he's a top pick. And look, I thought Little Brose, I was keen on here a couple of weeks ago. He just ran out of condition that last bit. Winkers go on. Give him strength. I'm on at $34 and $9 for plenty. Love him even just to run a place. But they're my top two. Don Corleone was a complete head fuck for me. I thought he'd been a slipper after the first race, and Lambourne was saying that the fence was off that day, but geez, I still thought he was disappointing, so I didn't know what to do with it. And obviously Steel City's favourite, but I just don't love how it's run through the line and it's 2 runs. So I'm thinking Barber's going with the Colts here. Barber from Little Brose.
John, what do you think about this race?
Yeah, I think Steel City's chased the best 2-2-year-olds in the country home in Red Resistance and Learning to Fly. If the blinkers switch it on, tongue tie, and it runs 1200, I think it wins. But that is a genuine risk. The 1200, agree with Azza that you just haven't seen it finish its races off as powerfully as you would like to be going up to 1200 metres. But in saying that, if the blinkers do the trick, perfect draw, got Shin again, plenty in its favour, and very hard to split the rest of them. The only other horse that stood out to me was Don Corleone, which you mentioned is its first start in a race. If you pen its last start, completely forgive it. Around $10, it seems well and truly in the race. But if one of those two didn't win, I thought it was a lottery. I didn't really think there was much between any of the rest of them, and these two could be just way in front of them class-wise.
Yeah, look, it's not my sort of race, this, but I've got Steel City on top marginally, but I don't think it's any sort of joy in price. And Barber's the chance. I thought Exploring could be a bit of value in the race. What else have we got? The other one of the other Cummings horses, the Ben Bellum ride. How do you pronounce that? Zolvicar, is it, or how do you pronounce it? I know
Zolvicar.
Zolvicar backed it first up, and it's got some chance at big odds in this race, and even one horse here, the 13, the thing from Morgan.
Dumbaneko or something.
If it ran, top 4 or 5, I wouldn't be surprised at cricket score odds. But
didn't even know it was in the race.
Yeah, I don't really want to get involved. Perhaps I'll have some. Perhaps I'll have something on the 9 and 3. Perhaps those two at odds. Let's get into the Futurity.
The mighty Futurity Stakes, a big field, a classic field, isn't it? Look at this. 320 on Thunderstruck, just going off as we speak everywhere. It looks like alligator blood. 340 around, but not for long by the look of it. 480-ish for Mr. Brightside, $6 for Nugget, and $11 Oberon, $17 for Agon.
Jason?
Anyone that watches your show, I'm not really going to give them any more insight than they probably already have on this race. Alligator Blood's going to lead.
Is it?
What's going to lead it?
I'm asking. Well, I know it seems that way, but I'm just thinking about its its first up 1400 run there at Caulfield when it sat 3.5 off him from gate 1. What race was that? Was that last prep?
Yeah, that was the Memsey.
Yeah, the Memsey. Yeah. So
didn't it miss the kick?
Sorry?
Did it miss the kick?
Let me just have a quick squeeze.
What could possibly lead it here? Only Mr. Brightside.
Nugget's the only one that could lead it.
Nugget
didn't miss the kick, missed it a neck, if anything, and just didn't show enough speed to hold a spot.
I just think that Nugget could lead here.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think I'm Thunderstruck will be. She's got to make sure she doesn't get bullied to the fence. By Williams.
You saw the change of tactics to be ridden closer.
Which he'd be trying to do. Well, I mean, there's only 6 horses, so she can't be more than 2 pairs back on it. So I just think like I can't get his run second up last prep out of my head. Either can John when it ran down Alligator Blood. I just think he'll come on leaps and bounds at first. The trial before his first up run was enormous. Ran out of condition last start. He'll improve here. I just think he's the best horse in the race on ability and ready to win. So he'd be my bet. But a great race. I love Mr. Brightside's come back, and I think Nugget's going to be a great chance in the Doncaster. He might be our Mr. Brightside of this year, Nugget. He's going well. He's got 51.5 in the 20.
Look, I'm with you. I think the favourite's the one to beat for sure. Alligator Blood, definite chance, but just can't see any edge in that price. Look, my Oberon's an interesting runner, and it'll be. I suppose we'll learn more tomorrow in terms of parade and market support, if any. But if there was support for this horse, I'd be worried about it. I'm against Mr. Brightside at the price. Nugget probably a shade of unders at the moment, but I think the favourite's the way to go.
Yeah, I thought it was Mr. Brightside's D-Day. He's never going to beat these horses past this distance, and if he can't beat them, his run was as good as anything first up, I thought, but he just was a bit lazy to ride, and he'll be ridden closer. He'll just tag Alligator Blood. He's probably the only problem for him would be if Alligator Blood doesn't cross Nugget, and then he could be in a bit of trouble, because if I'm Thunderstruck pops up there, he might end up sort of outside leader, which probably wouldn't be ideal. But if he floats outside leader with Alligator Blood, I think that's a good story. It's $5. You take it or leave it on with Paul. I don't think it's any spoil.
Yeah, so I suppose that's that race. Let's get on to the Oakley Plate.
Which track's this on? There's how many tracks are they using? This is the other track with the different winning post, is it?
Yeah, this is the hillside with the 80 metres past the winning post.
This is Lakeside.
I know what they say it is, but how can it be?
You just said it's hillside, but they say it's Lakeside.
No, I know what Racing Australia say, but it's conflicting, and the information that I've got is that it's going to be hillside, and we always try to verify the information based on what is, not what they say it is. So if you go to Racing Australia, they have.
Yeah, they definitely say Lakeside for this race with a different winning post. Yep.
In the track day, but then they've got Shoot, second winning post, 1,100 metres. Well, the Shoot's the 1,000 metres. And this is where they've been running the 1,100 metre races. They've been running it off that 1,000 metre Shoot on the hillside, haven't they?
So either it's 1,080 metres or they're lying.
No. What I'm saying is that they go back 20 metres, and then they have a winning post 80 metres past the post. That gives you 1,100.
Yeah, that is right. That is right.
Yeah. So I'm saying that the official publication's wrong, and I'm saying it's the hillside.
All right.
Here we go.
That's why you should subscribe to Ratings to Win, punters.
Well, I'm often wrong.
Let me know, and I'll make sure you get a 25% discount. I'll make it 50.
Far out. Paul's head just blew off.
Assuming they can get a license, Jason.
Can I get one? Mine's due this week. Can I get a 25% discount? Can you give me the code, please? Asa?
Yeah.
$5.50.
First of all, you can't buy it on the website, and two, there's no apply coupon.
The promo code is shit shirt.
Shit shirt.
I love this shit. You put that in and you get 25% off.
Shit. All right. Well, I love the Oakley Plate. Let's. I'm ready to fucking have a crack here.
Jesus Christ. $5.40 Asphora, $6, $7 around for I Am Me. What else have we got? $8 Chain of Lightning, $10-ish Star Patrol with the what's it got? Glue on shoes. That's got to scare a few people. Uncommon James, $10. King of Sparta, $10. Lofty Strike, $10. Where's my horse? Zapateo, $16, $15 around for Zapateo. Don't think I'm missing anything under 20-1. They look the main in the betting chances.
I'll go first.
Okay, you go first, Jason.
Amazing race. Love handicaps. Should be more of them to bet into. I'm absolutely amazed that I got $20 on Zapateo.
Don't steal my horse.
Extraordinary price. Let's talk about the first three favourites. Asfura. Well, if we go back to Derby Day when we got William Buick on fucking Zapateo, should have pantsed Asfura that day. Let's talk about I Am Me. Gave it absolute windburn at Scone and the Denise's Joy when it had Rachel King on. And let's talk about Chain of Lightning, which had absolutely smacked at Caulfield in the How Now in the sprint. 2 trials here. Love the trial there behind Joyful Fortune. Beautiful Godolphin trial. Born as much as was hard ridden behind it and was easily holding it. Cannot believe the price. Think it's best value of the day and just each way all day, absolutely unloaded at 20s. I think it's still a good price around town, so you can take it. The other one I'm backing at double figures is Lofty Strike. The only possible reason this horse is this price is the trainer. But look, he's done a really good job with it. It was Blue Diamond fave before it went amiss, and I really think it would have won it. Was good in the Coolmore behind that Coolmore. Who ran third in that Coolmore? In Secret won it. Same Majik ran second. It's a nice horse, and someone ran third that's gone really well since. Born as Notches. It's dynamic win first up. Only going to improve into this. Down at 53 kilos. Just absolutely love the setup for it. One of those two from barrier 11 and 12 running down the middle at a price. Great race. That'll be my two.
What's wrong with the trainer?
Well,
No, you're saying that's why you're getting the price.
Hypothesising why this horse is the odds it is, and I'm hypothesising that it's no name Julius. Well, Julius Sandu is not a trendy, favoured by the market trainer, is all I say.
No.
I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with him, and that's why he's in my numbers.
I think he's an outstanding trainer.
You're looking at SP data and performance against SPA.
I'm only looking at what I can do as a punter.
Well, great. Well, thanks for reinforcing my astuteness.
I think you're. I don't think it's an outstanding horse. I think it's definitely one of the main chances. I think the market's very. Look, I can't see much of an edge in this race, to be honest. But I can see a case for Zapateo for sure. I think it should be shorter. Zoo Style, Ethan Brown is just flying. Be interesting to see what it does first up. Obviously, I Am Me. I Am Me's I had my max bet on it at Canterbury and went into a coma when A. Adkins was the late replacement, and I was seriously considering writing up my will. But he rode an outstanding race and got the job done, and it's flying too. Look, it's actually my top pick off raw numbers. As Four is in there, Chain of Lightning's in there, Lofty Strike, as I said, Zapateo for sure. Hard race, but small bets for me, if any, and hopefully one of us find the winner. John.
Yeah, I'm dead set. Ezra and I read out the same playbook. I love the trial of Zapateo. I've got marked favourite, and whilst it's an ugly race, it's the only thing stopping me betting until my backside bleeds. So it'll probably help me or hurt me. I'm not sure. Either way, huge price. Lofty Strike, I got second favourite, and couldn't believe its price either. A lot of the horses in the betting, I'm not excited by at all, and I've saved or just. Probably for sanity, the horse Masked Crusader at 25 to 1. I just don't want to let it beat me just because of what it can do when it's in the right mood. And whilst a lot of people are singing the praises of this race, this horse is certainly lined up against the best all its life. And it's the first time it's probably, racing. I think races well fresh too at this sort of level. Even though it's a Group 1 handicap, I still see it as a class drop back from weight for age. So, yeah, 25 to 1. I'm not going to let it beat me, but I'll be with Azza. Both of us will be very happy or very sad. What time is it? 4:40 on Saturday.
Masked Crusader.
Just I don't want to let it beat me. I can just see.
I thought it was dead.
I can see it sucking through the field. Again, Mellum, he's just the sort of horse that Mellum can just stand you right in the Khyber with, and I don't want it.
Honestly,
yeah. Okay.
I'm not dissing you. I just thought I can't. I've sacked him. He's gone in the bin a long time ago. Masked Crusader for me, but yeah, I'll spew it if he beats me. I'll spew.
Let's talk about best bets. Mine's pretty easy. Skirt the law in Sydney and in Melbourne. Not to say a best bet, but I really do like this horse, Emissary, in the PDO. John?
I think I'm betting up Surefire Saving Emissary. I think that's a great betting race, and I'm definitely having a good crack at the same two horses as are in the last. Zapateo, Lofty Strike. In Sydney, there's nothing really stands out. Hope in Your Heart, I think, is the hardest horse to beat there, but certainly short enough. And the rest of them are all sort of marginal plays. I thought Melbourne certainly presented the best opportunities on Saturday.
Jason?
For me, I'll just stick to Melbourne because I honestly haven't put enough time into Sydney that people deserve. I'm going to go to a race we haven't called out, the Zetative. It's a great race.
Hang on.
Hey, we don't do that.
Well, you want best fucking bets, or you want fucking best? I've already talked about the races. I don't need to reinforce my confidence. You can already hear it.
No, it was just
Race
a summary
4,
for the punters.
I like Rich Fortune. It's a Group 1 horse in the making. And Meridius is a saver. It's a very nice horse, both at good odds. I'm against Spacewalk in that race. So when I'm against a fave, I'm aggressive. Agree Emissary, Praying Little Bros, very keen on Thunderstruck. Keen on that last race, both of those, Lofty Strike and Zapateo.
Okay, well, that wraps it up for this week. Gee, a bit of a show. We've gone on for about 47 minutes, but we've covered plenty of races. Hopefully we'll find you a few winners, punters, and we'll do it all again next week.
Good luck, guys.
Thanks, boys.
Get into a Mazza.
Cheers.